One more thing which I came across and found it really, really interesting is the Canadian Armed Forces flexibility to not have short haircut, allowing tattoos. And this is not a very common practice across, look at the global armed forces, but this is one way of inviting and telling that, you're accepted as long as you're disciplined and you can perform your duties. Some insight on this, like it's so encouraging for someone who has religious practice where they cannot perform certain activities like shaving their beard and etc. So how it has been, I'm welcome within the armed forces. Maybe if you're not able to speak on that, like do you see this encouraging for people to really come in and participate more in the armed forces?
Yes. Well, I'm not going to give my personal opinion on what I think about federal government policies and military policies, but I will tell you that I have had 18 years of short haircuts, and when they changed the policy, I got a bit of a ponytail back here now, so I'm trying it out myself. And the important thing is to still look professional and have discipline. And I can also tell you that when the changes to the dress regulations came out, they were quite open-ended, and a lot of people are taking advantage of that. I will let you know that in the very near future, the dress regulations are going to be backtracked a little bit, not to how they were before, but have a little bit more restrictions on the color that you can dye your hair and the length of beard. So I know that, yes, you'll still be permitted to have a beard. You don't have to be clean shaven. And yes, the dress regulations will still be gender neutral, meaning that men can have long hair the same as women, as long as it meets the dress standard of being well kept and professional. And there's certain hairstyles that are permitted and some that are not, like having hair bangs covering your face, etc., and a few things like that. And if it's past the length of the collar, it needs to be tied back to a braid or ponytail. So there's some restrictions on how the hair must be presented, but it doesn't have to be shaved off short at boot camp like when I joined in 2005. So yes, I think that it is welcoming and encouraging to some people that they're not subject to those very strict shaving and haircut policies that are common with many militaries around the world. And there's actually a recent news story. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the military skills competition, Sandhurst skills competition conducted at West Point. I saw a social media post recently talking about the Canadian team with their long hair. They were all had mullets, and people were making a lot of comments about that. But the other point I'd like to point out is that there was two Canadian teams, and one of them placed second and one of them placed fifth. And this is out of 45 teams from 15 different countries. So I think that as far as discipline, professionalism, and skill goes, the Canadian Armed Forces still has all of those traits in good supply, and having a little bit of a more relaxed dress regulations can be welcoming and encouraging for some people to join without taking away from the professionalism and skill and discipline of the Canadian Armed